Good evening, everyone. This is Dan's All About Arsenal, and this is the Arsenal Forecast. We are back finally after the Christmas break. So we're here to kind of catch up on all things Arsenal, everything that's gone on between from all the way from Everton, Crystal Palace, Brighton, Aston Villa, and the upcoming Liverpool game. I've got my lovely, beautiful audience here, Josh, Alex, Vinny. We're all here to talk about our kind of thoughts on it. Vinny's been to a lot of games. Josh, Alex have been watching every game, so we're going to talk all about it. We've got a nice little new intro to play for you, and we'll catch up after. What do we what do we
Very
think,
nice.
boys? What do you think? I literally quickly put that together because I was like, I need something, I need something.
Oh,
But
you
hey,
couldn't tell.
hello. Is it amateur hour? Done it very, very quick. But you've got to use what you got, you know. So,
Absolutely.
but but thanks guys for joining us once again. Obviously got a lovely cast, Josh, Alex, obviously Vinny. We're going to catch up because obviously there's a lot gone on over the Christmas period. The nice thing to start off from a positive podcast point of view, we're top of the league, we're 6 points clear, we're absolutely bossing it, and I've been optimistic, but this is probably the most buzzing I've been, especially with results from other clubs. It was a big draw weekend for everyone else, and then we seem to be absolutely bossing it and finding ways to win. So I'm in elation at the moment. I can't wait to smash up Liverpool. So that is coming. We'll get on that revenge mission like Aston Villa.
Yeah.
But I do think we should delve into the most recent game against Bournemouth. Vinny, out of interest, did you go to the Bournemouth game? You didn't travel down, right?
No, that was we were at their place, right? No, I wasn't at the
Oh, of
Bournemouth game.
course. Yeah. No, it's more home than away, isn't it? So, but
Yeah,
let's
exactly. Yeah.
let's catch up and get thoughts because it'd be great to hear from you guys on kind of thoughts on the game so far. Obviously, we had Declan Rice back, and really he was back as well. Obviously, man of the match performance from him, 2 goals, first brace in the Premier League as well from him. If we start with Vinny, what was your overall thoughts on the game?
Thoughts on the game? So, I mean, I tell you, I must have been one of the only people that watched that game. I had to go and watch it again because after watching it for the first time, obviously when it was live, my initial thought was I didn't think Madueke had that much of a great game. Obviously, Deck played really, really, really well. Then we had the incident with Gabriel at the beginning of the game. 10 minutes in, he
Oh
makes a
no.
mistake, etc. I
Yeah,
remember watching it and just thinking, oh, it's quite a nervy one. Do you know what I mean? Because although we seem to have
100%.
loads of the possession, I don't think we weren't really making it all count, all the possession that we had. And once
Hmm.
again, that seemed to come down to our slight toothlessness up front. I don't know whether you
Yeah.
guys agree, but it seemed to be the same old story again. Having said that, though, when I watched the game again a second time, um, a complete double take on Madueke's performance. I thought he actually did play really, really well. I could really notice how Deck really ran the game from our perspective, and I thought we actually played really well. Best performance in a while. I thought we actually did really, really well.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I agree with a lot of parts of that as well. But open the floor up to Alex. Do you want to go next to get your take on the game as well, mate?
I thought it was a gritty win. It was it was a good 3 points on the road. Uh, yeah, I think Madueke he did have some good spells in that game.
Yeah,
And he was the reason for the first goal. Um, so yeah, or not the first goal, sorry, the second goal. But yeah, I thought it was all right, but yeah, it was gritty, and but yeah, Rice was obviously brilliant. Yeah, that's all I can really say.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, the goal the first when it happened. I don't think. I think he expected it. Anyone expected it. That was just a moment of madness to give away something as crazy as that. I was like, I just watched it. I was
Yeah,
like, what the hell is he doing? And I
yeah,
think it was in no man's land. I think, and you could see from his face straight away. And I turned around to my wife at the time, Sheree, and I just said, I feel for him, but he's going to make up for that. I guarantee it. And literally, what, 5 minutes later, less than that, banger down the other end. But
Yeah.
and that was a bit of that was the Madueke sort of break-in, and he done really well because he's so direct when he takes his man on, which he doesn't always do, which, you got to try different things, but he done really well. And I think there was 2 chances before it fell to Gabriel, who then smashed it home. So I
Yeah,
think
that's
that
right.
was thank God for that. And you could see the relief, like the weight lifted off his shoulders after that, and go, right, we're all square, we're back to kind of where we expected, and thank God for that. But Josh, mate, what was your kind of your take on the game and your initial kind of reactions?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Alex in terms of it was a very gritty sort of win. It was a bit of a shame with the second goal that they scored. Obviously, great finish for the young lad who did score it, but it's
Hell of a
just
goal,
another one of them. Obviously, with the mistake from Big Gabby, it was just sort of like they're the goals that you just do not want to be conceding. But luckily, we got more, so we won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank Christ. I don't know if you felt reassured though. You were going to go. We got loads of time. I never panicked. I was like, we're going to come back from this.
Yeah. I mean, I sort of always felt like we were going to see it out. I wasn't as nervous as other games that we've been in. But Bournemouth are a good side, and I think they showed it. There's no easy games really in the Premiership. So, I mean, even Wolves got a win this weekend. So,
West Ham, what are you doing? Yeah, it's mad. That was, and that wasn't just a win. It's like a 1 goal. It's 3-0, isn't it?
Well, 3-0, and that's a 6-pointer for them down there, isn't it? That's a we've been against West Ham, but I'm feeling more and more confident that we are going to get over the line and actually win the league. I can see us winning, almost all of it really this season. I think if anything, the one that we might come unstuck in is the Champions League, but I feel like we might do the domestic treble. Big talk.
I mean,
big talk.
Big talk. I mean, any silverware at this rate, we just need to win something. But I think the league is looking really, really positive from the performances we've seen, and it's always been a bit more dominant. I mean, Aston Villa was a perfect game of that as well, which we'll come on to. But I think that with the way we've positioned ourselves in the league now, especially with the last minute goal, Man City Chelsea, which was I'd actually flicked off and I didn't expect them to win, to be honest with you. And that was just a nice little cherry on top for the weekend. And you think, Jesus Christ, things are happening. It's all going our way for once. And then we've got quite a nice run in towards like the end of the season. We've been away. We've played a lot of the bigger teams away. And I think the majority of our sort of games are lower teams, 7 and down and stuff, apart from maybe like City and Liverpool obviously coming up. But then we've had how many managers leave in the last sort of 24, 40 hours? That's also opened things up completely.
2 big ones, right? 2 big ones.
And the Celtic one as well.
Celtic
manager.
Oh, has he gone as well?
Yeah.
A month
and a bit. He lasted.
Just over 4 weeks or so, wasn't it? It was just mad because I think Amarin wanted to go. He was just like, I want to get out of it now. I'm had enough. Which is mad in itself. But the Chelsea one, it threw me a bit because I thought, he's doing all right. He's won, Europa League, wasn't it, last year, and he's won the Club World Cup, and then
it was conference and the
conference and
Club
World Cup.
Was it conference?
Yeah.
Got you. But I mean, he had some, money in the bank, to stay around. But I think it's the way they run that club, isn't it? It's they want a yes man. They want to do this, want to do that. Bring in young talent, sell them is kind of basically what I think they're trying to do. And no one wants to stay there for that. So they've got a yes man in from another group they've got, another team they own already. And I think it's just if the wheels could fall off potentially on the Chelsea bus, I think it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Well, I think both for Chelsea and Man U, their operating models are the polar opposite to Arsenal. Because Arsenal, obviously, Arteta's got a lot of weight as far as a lot of decisions that are made within the club, operationally, but also transfers and everything else.
For sure.
Whereas the Man U and Chelsea model is more going to be about, we'll have a head coach, we've got a separate team, sporting director, etc., which will make more of the transfer decisions, and then we'll have a head coach who will put it all together and make something happen on the pitch. So you could see there are two completely polar opposite models of operation. And I think for us, luckily, we've got someone that's, suits in Arteta, that's supremely capable of actually playing a manager role and not just head coach.
Yeah. So I think when he started Arteta, he was originally like head coach, but quickly got promoted, wasn't it, to like a manager role? It wasn't long, I think, from memory.
Exactly.
And it's so much better. But yeah, control. You need that input, don't you? As a manager, you want to be choosing who you're coming on to. Just taking, well, you've got 10 youngsters essentially coming in, make them good, and then it just doesn't work. So I just thank God. But fifth and sixth, I think Man United and Chelsea, which so it's still. That's still mad, but I mean, we said in our WhatsApp group, we've been sort of saying an easy payday, isn't it? You just go, sort of get sacked, get fired as a manager, you're still getting 5, 10, 15 mil payout if you depending on your contract. You think, but that's not a bad way to go. I know, was it Mourinho? He was the expert on this. He got sacked from a lot of teams, didn't he? But not a bad way to go. So, but obviously to round out the Bournemouth game, obviously Declan Rice, unbelievable player, and I know we touched on it last time about who's done well this season. I think I picked Rice, so I'm quite happy with with that. He's been unbelievable. But I do think I think he's definitely going to be up there, player of the season. If he doesn't get it, I would be shocked because he has been playing out of his skin. I was worried, I'll be honest, if we're coming on to the next game, which was obviously Aston Villa, when I heard about it, because I posted up on socials pretty quick as he's not starting. I didn't realise he even had an injury, to be honest with you, until I don't think many people did. And it broke about 2 hours before the game. And it was a bit like, oh God, biggest game of the year, Aston Villa. We wanted to, go ahead and smash them, from what they did before. But I don't think any of us expected the response that we got. 4-1 at home. Unbelievable game to watch. I don't think I've been shouting and screaming so much at the telly on this occasion because I think of the results before. But Alex, what was your thoughts on the game? Where did you watch it? I want to feed into it. What did you do?
I watched it at home. And I had I've got a 4.5-month-old son, and he'd just gone.
Silent.
He's just gone to sleep. I was when the first goal went in. Gabrielle, I went crazy, but quietly. My missus was looking at me like didn't understand what the hell was going on. I was like, just stop.
Obviously,
But it was. If you'd said at half time we're going to win this game 4-1, I would have said you're crazy. There's no way, because that first half, Watkins could have put the game to bed in the first half.
Yeah,
he spurned that massive opportunity, and but what a response! Like, what a game of football. But the first game was good. The first game was good that we played against Villa. That was a really good game of football. But this was much more in our favour.
Well, I think the first game was the first half reminded me of the first game. It was so back and forth, end to end stuff, and it was just completely different in the second half. And I know, Vinny, you went to this game. You lucky son of a gun! Like I couldn't. We were obviously texting you, just like, please let us live through you, because we were jealous of not being there with his Rubicon and rum.
Got that.
Absolutely loving love. Yeah, Josh, I was so impressed, mate. I'll be honest, it was great first guess. But I mean, how was the atmosphere, Vinny? But being there at this game, it must have. I kind of imagined it was a bit like Tottenham, but it's slightly bigger, Josh, again, because it meant so much more. Where Tottenham are rubbish, but this game meant so much. Where they're going to be going for the title because they're third. They've had a 11-game run streak of like wins, so they were in fantastic form. They were the informed team where we've been getting own goals for fun, whatever that was, to win games. But yeah, how was that atmosphere, mate?
Yeah, I mean, tell you what, this is one of the games that you could tell everyone had taken it really personal. Everyone really, really wanted it. And that's because, just a few weeks earlier, we'd been turned over, literally last kick of the game. Obviously, that left a sour taste in everybody's mouth. Everybody was really disappointed. So everybody really, really wanted a result. And to be honest with you, the crowd was really up for it. I'd say the first 10 minutes or so, everybody was really into it. But you know what can happen sometime at the Emirates? When things aren't quite going our way, it starts to quieten down and then the nerves begin to build. And that was happening again. I mean, one thing I distinctly remember, and I was saying to a couple of guys around me in the ground, because I was literally up a tier in the North Bank, but to them I was saying there was a pattern in the first half which had continued from the previous game. And that was, I don't know how they're able to do it, because I'm not quite sure how we had tactically set ourselves up. But you could see there was literally like almost like a straight line, a lane right through the middle of our midfield, right through the middle of our defence, which Villa were able to attack through in almost straight lines. And you could see it building and you could see it coming. I think they did that about 3 times. And I could literally see it. And I'm thinking, oh my God, this is going to be a carbon copy of the previous game. Obviously, luckily, tactical changes were made, and going into the second half, completely turned the game around, and the atmosphere was absolutely rocking. It was amazing. I don't know if I was messaging you at the time. I think I literally, when after our third goal went in, I held my chest and I had to calm myself down. So I literally thought I was going to have a heart attack. I was going absolutely wild, and then I caught myself thinking, Dean, stop. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just stop, because you're gonna do yourself an injury.
I think genuinely, we're all worried for you at one point, because we're like, Vinny, I'm gonna have a heart attack. It was unbelievable, mate. But I love the insight. But it's hard to get signal in the stadium at the time, because there's so many people there. So I've tried with Josh and Alex before, and we're trying to text your missus or whatever, going, we just scored, and like, you can't do anything. It's tricky. So would you want to share the fun, but we appreciate it, because Vinny sends us videos and pictures on the way up. I think you had an interview with some fans. Was that before that game, the Aston Villa one?
Yeah. I tell you what. I tell you one thing I'd say about the Arsenal is there is a complete mix in the graphic of fans that turn up on match day. So I think initially the interview I did was with a couple of guys and their misses as well. I don't know if they featured in the video, but they had come over from, I think they'd come over from Vienna. Then they'd come over from Vienna to watch the game. And it was the first time at the Emirates, and they were pumped. They absolutely couldn't wait. Then after speaking to them, I had something to eat, and I met another family, another guy and his wife, and they were over from Holland. And he'd been to a few games, but I think this was only her second time at the Emirates. So there was a real mix of people there watching the game. So it's really, really amazing to see. And everyone loved it.
Yeah, I mean, imagine that if you're coming from like a travelling fan coming from abroad and watching that game. I mean, you come up trumps on that one. That's unbelievable.
Exactly.
I just want to give a shout out as we go along. We've got a shout out here from Yuki Yoshida. He says, we are 6 points clear. Come on. And I absolutely back that completely. So I think we've never been in a stronger position. I think previous years we were like 5 points clear and stuff like that. And then the year, I think, when we didn't follow through, we bottled it, if you like. And I think it does feels different this time. I think the summer felt different. I think everything we've had, squad depth, injuries have pretty much felt the same, but we've got the depth to cover it. And I think that's the only thing that's been annoying for everyone. And finally, we're seeing this finally come back to fruition. And I can't wait for Havertz to come back. It's great to see Jesus come back. But we are finally getting to a point where we've actually got our strength and depth is returning. But Josh, to get you involved, mate, in the chat in regards to kind of players who have been standing out in that particular game. Anyone who you thought, bloody hell, that was a great performance? Anyone that stood out?
To be honest with you, I thought they all sort of deserve a bit of a shout out. I think Odegaard looked really good. Trossard again looked good. I mean, Zubimendi as well. Obviously, he got a goal.
It's a hell of a goal. Yeah, great goal.
Yeah, and he's, I think he had a little blip I think when probably that first game that we played against Villa away. I mean, no, don't get me wrong, it was a good game and everything, but I feel like he lost the ball a couple of times, and then there was a few games after that he lost the ball a few times, and not the sort of thing that you expect from him. But since then he's sort of turned a corner, and he's looking really, really good again. And he is that sort of heartbeat of the team. In terms of keeping the ball moving. He's obviously getting in more sort of forward positions and stuff like that as well. So yeah, he was possibly the standout for me. But even like Marino and stuff, obviously coming in for Rice, I thought he had a good game. Yeah.
Yeah, love that. No, I think I agree, and I think the whole point when Zubi come in was he was the man who it was the rhythm, wasn't it? I remember the intro. It was like a
Yeah.
drummer, and there was all that stuff, and he's keeping the momentum going. And obviously, we
Yeah.
know he's complemented Rice, but I also now think Odegaard's come back, and I think all three of them, I think, are probably one of the best trios midfield wise if they're all
Yeah.
playing, because we haven't had them all firing at the same time. It's always been one of them's go, two of them are good, one's just getting back, and I think finally. Odegaard, because he was been my favourite player for the last 2-3 years, but he's been obviously dropped off last season. This season is getting back after the injury, and I'm just so happy for him to start doing what he did best. Having a shot, putting some of these balls through. And the one to Zubimendi was unbelievable. And I think part of it for me was obviously the Gyökeres conversation at the moment is still not scoring goals, but there was imagery going round of him. We've surrounded, I think it was the Bournemouth game, 5
Yeah.
players around him, and then
Yeah.
Rice is
Yeah.
free with all that space. And I think there's so much more that he's doing that he doesn't get credit for. But he does because people are talking about it. But the main thing they
Yeah.
want to see is goals.
I think
we,
Arsenal fans give him credit for it.
yeah,
It's the rival
everyone else.
fans
Yeah.
and the whole sort of hate
Yeah.
watch thing that goes on at the moment that is
Mm.
that's what's not doing him any favors, but
No.
hopefully he doesn't really see all that.
No, I think there's no one really apart from the Haalands and is it Diego? I think is it setting it a world, on the sort of the number 9 side. But for me, he's actually done a lot more than we expected in. I think off the ball. I don't think
Yeah.
we bought him being a magnet, defender magnet. I think we're gonna have to
Mm.
call him because we'd see him in a different way. So, and he probably didn't expect that because he's so prolific from the last 2 seasons. People are going, we need to be on him, but we know he's creating more space and taking players away from other people. But actually, the more I'm looking back at pictures and imagery, I'm seeing him take so many more players away than actually I'd really given him credit for. But I think I kind of wonder if it's going to happen where they start dropping off him and going to the ball more, and suddenly he
Yeah.
frees up and starts bagging goals. I'm waiting for that to kind of change or click or a different team. We'll see, but I think I still
I mean,
believe we'll come good.
yeah. I mean, I
And
tell you what. The only thing. I mean, I am drinking the Gyökeres Kool-Aid, but I need. I'm not gonna lie. I need goals. I really do need goals. At the end of the day,
yeah,
when everyone gives it to Saka when he's not had a great game, but you've got to remember, near enough every game Saka's doubled up on, but yet he can still be effective. So from Gyökeres, yeah, I expect there to be a lot of pressure on him. There's always going to be someone on his shoulder pushing back, but I still expect goals. I want more. I mean, I'm giving him time. I'm not saying Gyökeres out. I'm not saying, right, let's replace him in the summer. But I do want more. I can see what he's bringing to the team, and now he does create space for others. But if he doesn't start scoring, I think things may begin to turn. And I don't mean that in a really negative way, in a hateful way, but it's just going to be a case of, right, someone, we need another striker. We need someone that can actually really bag goals. I mean,
yeah. I think it's tricky, isn't it? Because we've obviously got Havertz coming back, we've got Jesus coming back. Very different. All of them are very different, I think. And it'd be interesting to see how that rotates because he's played more than he probably was expected to because there was no one else.
yeah.
So I don't know if that was at detriment to him, but I think it will be interesting to see. For me, Havertz is the big one. Jesus is great to have him come on. He's probably earned a start, which I think he started the other day, but I'd like to then see Gyökeres come on for half an hour at the end and just
Yeah.
see what that changes. If it's maybe more of an impact player because they've got used to how Jesus moves, and actually all of a sudden, bang, a different kind of perspective, and will it make a difference? I think it'll be really interesting to see. There's just a couple of comments because we've got Rookie Yoshido. He's getting involved on here as well, so I want to make sure we don't miss these. But he says, I'll put these up as well, so I don't know if you can see. But also to all the rival fans telling me not to enjoy and celebrate my team, f off. They they call us insufferable because they got salty. Come on, you Gunners, enjoy every win. Let's go. And then he brings up a valid point as well. They're also starting this weird Eze narrative. He hasn't played 3 games. I know it's a bit weird, the Eze thing, because when I've looked into it and heard things from other people, a lot of it was based around how many games he's played, because he's played a lot more than he was used to at Crystal Palace, because he's playing in Champions League, he's playing the league games, he's playing the cup games, and I think he's had an element of rest, but I also think it's an element of his defensive work that he's not quite up to scratch yet, which I think Arteta is instilling in him. What's your thoughts on that, Alex?
I think it was the Villa home game, was it? The game at Villa Park, and he didn't track Matty Cash, and that was the first goal, and that stood out.
Half time, wasn't it? Mm.
Yeah, that stood out, and he hasn't really. I don't know if he's even played since then. And I think that's kind of like, all right, sit on the bench, look at what you need to do, look at the rest of the team and how they play and how they track back. Like Martinelli's brilliant for it. All of them are. All of them are really good at tracking back and putting the defensive work in as well as the attacking. So I think Arteta knows what he's doing, and I think that's why, like, going back to like Gyökeres, like starting him every game, and because he does bring something going forwards. Because I kept thinking, Jesus has come back and he scored came on 55 seconds, scores against Villa, and I thought that he'd get. Arteta knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing.
And I think that there will come a time where Eze might not start, but he'll be coming off the bench, and we'll see a different Eze. Like slotting into the team. He was the star player at Crystal Palace, and that's not how Arsenal works. Like we don't have a star player. We've got a solid team, and everyone fights for each other. It's
true.
It's different. Yeah.
I think we've got a lot of star quality players, haven't we? I think, overall. There's no Haaland and that's it. Let's get the ball to him and let him do the work. There's, goals are coming from everywhere, which they have been the last few seasons. I think the season we scored the most goals ever seen, that was always, coming from every direction. Even look at Gabriel coming back and scoring again. He's such a threat. Defensively, he's unbelievable, and he feels safer. Even when he come on, it was Aston Villa game, wasn't it? He come on in the second half, and all of a sudden he sort of went, just again, it's just different chalk and cheese, and that's why he's so important to the team. Him and Saliba, he's the unsung hero, Saliba, because he's the one who just slides in, does his thing, makes an unbelievable tackle, but Gabriel gets all the flowers probably, but Saliba's there doing his thing, and the pairing, I think is second to none. I don't think there's a better pairing when they're fully fit in the league, in the world. I don't put it out there. Anyone else think differently?
Oh, that just quickly, that Villa game, even though it was offside, but when Saliba got the touch on it. Just that little touch on it. And that could go in the back of the net. Yeah. But he knew exactly what he was doing. Yeah. It was that was brilliant. I'm gutted it was offside.
I know. It's an unbelievable tackle. Just double checking the comments, fellas, in here. So Rookie Yoshido says he'd definitely start Gyökeres against Liverpool. That'd be interesting. What's your thoughts on that, fellas? Have you got, if we're going to touch on Liverpool game, but what's your thoughts on him starting?
I mean, here's the thing, right? When we talk about our team, we gush about our defence, we gush about our midfield, but that striking department, to me, still leaves a lot to be desired. We don't gush about it. We talk about Gyökeres being... True. He's performing a role, he's performing a function, he's creating a space for others. We brought him to bang goals. Yeah. One thing our 3 strikers have in common is that none of them are prolific. Okay, so we've got Jesus back. He was never prolific. The reason why we were all dying to get a striker in the summer was because Havertz also wasn't the answer. Good player, great team player, will get goals in double figures, but we want someone that's going to get 20 across all competitions and do that season after season. And that's why we got Gyökeres in. So I think it almost doesn't matter who we start, whether it be Jesus or Gyökeres. The good thing about those two is that because they're so stylistically different, we can have one start, then bring the other one on at some point in the game, and we can have a very different look up front, a very different attacking force. And I think the fact that we can have that difference is very useful.
Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah, so just quickly, about our attacking, the Bournemouth game.
Yeah, cool. Well, I think again, go on, Alex.
No, go on.
No, that's fine, mate. You fire away.
Oh, sorry. I think my stream's gone a bit funny. I was just going to say the Bournemouth game. Our subs. When I saw the subs coming on, it was like our front three coming off, and then who we brought on, I was like, that's a bench.
Yeah,
we're 2-1 up, and then we're bringing on Jesus, Saka, and Trossard.
Yeah.
I was like, God.
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
We had a much stronger bench when you looked at the Aston Villa one. We were like, you could chalk and cheese again. You look at ours and you go, wow, that's solid. One of the strongest benches I've seen for a while. Again, it's just the team that's been built, to kind of win this league. So yeah, it was solid, man. It was really, really good. I'm looking back at the last games, and we'll look at what we predicted as well, because I think we had Everton game just before this, which was, I don't know if it feels so long ago because it was just before Christmas, wasn't it? You had Everton.
We had the Crystal Palace game.
Oh, of course, yeah. So we had the League Cup game again. I haven't actually come up with me. Crystal Palace. So that was the 2-1.
Was that before the last podcast or after it?
Yeah, no, it was on the 23rd. That was, so we done it. Come out on the Friday before the last podcast. So but obviously
it was Everton, Palace, Villa, Bournemouth.
Yeah, that's it. So we predicted Everton, Palace, Brighton, Aston Villa. That's what we've got. So I'll have to go through it because there's so many scores and so many predictions. But yeah. Oh, good. Yeah,
So many games.
That's the thing. It's almost Christmas has killed us in the sense of we've been fantastic to watch football, but we took kind of a little break over Christmas because families, Christmas, New Year, all that kind of stuff. But actually, there's so much to touch on. But we, I don't even know where to go with it. So we got Crystal Palace, obviously penalties. So oh my God, the stress, but. It was like every penalty was perfection. We didn't miss a single one. It was unbelievable. But I was worried in every one. I was absolutely bricking it in every one. Again, another game, Vinny, you were there. But the atmosphere, I can only imagine I was at home like this. How was it being in the flesh? Because I think you videoed every penalty as well.
Yeah. Well, the thing, it was quite nice being in the ground watching the penalty shootout because you could literally every Palace player that walked up to take his penalty, the boos were ringing out, which was amazing. And then obviously when our players stepped up, there was like loads of cheering. And when it went in, obviously the crowd was going wild. So that was my first ever live penalty shootout. So it was really amazing to see. The fans got behind the team. And obviously the only disappointing thing was Kepa. I literally thought he wasn't going to save a single penalty. He kept seeming. It seemed like he went the same way, which was the wrong way every single time.
Because eventually I'll get one. Yeah, because he's pretty good at penalties normally. Like pre-season, he had a penalty shoots out, didn't they? And he'd saved a couple, and I was like, fair play. They brought him on just to save penalties, but I just think it was one of those games we shouldn't have got to penalties. To be honest with you, was probably my thoughts on that one, and I was just relieved. I'd gone out for a work sto and rushed back to watch it, and but yeah, I mean, it was an 80th minute. Goal, own goal, wasn't it? Yeah. Which was unfortunate, but it's one of those things. And then obviously he scored on the 95th minute. It was just, it is what it is. But we can look back and smile now because we're into the next round, semi-finals against Chelsea, who hopefully are falling apart. We hope, and there's no new manager bounce. but I think we just go in there and smash them up. I think that would be great. Well, I don't want to draw again against 10 men or whoever it was before.
One question about the Chelsea game.
Go on.
Are you guys in the ballot? Did you enter the ballot?
I didn't get in there. No. Did you get in?
Here's the thing. I was going to buy you all around before the game. You're saving me money. I'm going to be the only one there.
Oh no, I know, because I texted you, didn't I? Because I was trying to get in. I was in where was I, on the Isle of Wight randomly between Christmas and New Year, and the signal was awful. And I texted you, and I was like, I can't get in. It got me to my queue, and I was like, it kicked me out. I was like, it's just not meant to be. So I couldn't do anything.
No worries.
But it's going to be a good, because it's the second half. You get the second leg, don't you? It's home, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, second legs at home. Yeah,
second legs at home. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fairly confident at the moment with how we've been playing in Chelsea with the changes and stuff. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
Well, I think luckily, I don't think we're going to see much of a new manager bounce from Liam Rosenior. He doesn't seem to have the air about him. So I don't think we've got that to worry about. And there's we don't need to fear anyone at the Emirates. We really don't.
No, we don't. Unbeaten at home. We've had an unbelievable season. So, I mean, when you look at it, I think we've got, one draw and the rest wins. Is it at home? I did see the stats earlier on.
Is it two draws at home?
So
or is it one? We've had City.
Yeah, it was the City game. Maybe
City. What was the other
Palace.
one?
Oh, we beat Palace.
No,
yeah, we beat them, right?
Yeah,
I think it's only one draw.
I think just one draw at home. Then the rest wins. Yeah,
all wins. Yeah, so I mean, unbelievable, right? I think it's just us and Sunderland, isn't it?
Sunderland,
lost at home. I mean, and fair play, they did us a favour. So we've been very lucky, I think, with results from other teams. It will make it continue, to be honest with you. So I'm buzzing about it. Just want to look, because there's a few more comments. So Rookie Yoshida, he's our guy today. He's putting a lot of comments in, which is good. Where are we on these? So he's saying here, let's add these in. These defenders, though, double up on Gyökeres and Saka, never very good left winger, and they will feel the fire. I want faster version of Trossard. I mean, Trossard's a little bit older. None of them, apart from Martinelli's got the pace, but sometimes the end product. But he has been better, I think, for us. And I think Champions League, he seems to find his feet and his goal scoring boots better in Europe for some reason. But yeah, I think we'll see. The left wing, they talked a lot about changing things in the summer, but I'm glad they stuck with it, because actually the left, I mean, everything was going down the left the other day, wasn't it? What game was that last game?
Brighton game it did.
Yeah, it was all left, and you go, it just felt a bit weird, to be honest with you. But Saka didn't really, he hasn't been playing amazing, Saka. He's still there, he's still, doing what he does, but I think, still an off game's decent for him, but he's not been maybe that's why they had Madueke, start the other day, which he deserved the start from a few weeks ago when he'd in the Champions League game, and he's not played for a while. So that was always a strange thing. But I think we have to see what happens on that side of things as well. Just checking out if there's any other decent comments to talk on, boys.
Saka did create a couple of them own goals. And a couple of assists, didn't he? Like if he hadn't have pinged that ball in, we wouldn't have beaten. Was that the
Wolves,
Crystal Palace game? Yeah, and Wolves as well.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Crystal Palace was that. If he hadn't have delivered them, he's just not scoring. It's like Gyökeres, but at least he's got an assist in him.
Yeah, exactly.
He had the assist for Rice at the weekend against Bournemouth, wasn't it? Which was nice.
That was off the bench.
That was, unbelievable. But I'm just looking at our predicted results from some of these games, which would be interesting to recap on. I need to make sure I've got all the right scores in front of me as well. But obviously it's good, and we'll have to do a little leader table as we go on, because we'll do a prediction for Liverpool. But so obviously the Everton game 1-0. Let's have a look. So we had Alex was 3-1, Josh was 2-1, Vinny was 1-0. 1-0, Vinny. What are you playing at? I had 2-0. Obviously 1-0. So we all got the kind of results right. Scores on the day on that one. I need to bring these up, because it was Gyökeres. Who had Gyökeres?
Penalty. Yeah.
I don't think anyone picked Gyökeres, which isn't
That
a
was a
shock.
good penalty.
It was a good. I mean, he took the net off. You know, the net was
Yeah,
bang.
yeah,
He's got the power.
yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yes.
Unbelievable. So, but all 10 points for that result. The Crystal Palace game, and we all said a win. I mean, technically, when you look at it on the website, it comes up as, because it was penalties,
A
it comes up as
draw.
2-1. It comes up as
Yeah.
draw, but then 2-1 because you won the penalties is how it's awarded. So it depends how we want to score it. But you had Gyökeres to score, Josh. Who scored again? Sorry, I haven't got it in front of me. 2-1. Right,
Own
scores.
goal.
So we had.
And
So
goal.
it's just the own goal, and it depends. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Okay, but we all, I suppose, get the result right. That's a weird one, isn't it? How often does that happen? So another 10 points there, and then we go on to the Brighton game. So Brighton, we've got results of 2-1 for Alex, 4-1 for Josh, 3-1 for Vinny, and I put 3-1 as well. Wanyeri to score, but I don't think we saw it. Obviously, we got a 2-1. So, Vinny, you got the correct score. Who was the scorers? Remind myself. You got Odegaard, and another own goal. Oh my God, it's still going on, isn't it? That was the one
Yeah.
from Rutter, and then Gomez scored their one. So again, Odegaard. Anyone for Odegaard? No one for Odegaard, but Vinny got the. You didn't get the right score on that one. That was Alex got 2-1 for Brighton. So there's an extra 20 points there. And
Am I top of the table?
I mean, you are there. I've got to add these scores up. Quick maths is not going to be good. I'm going to post this after because I can't even work it out. There's so many. But in the last game, obviously, of Aston Villa, we predicted as well. Alex, you had a 3-2. Marino to score. Josh, you had 3-0. Very close. Vinny had 2-1. Saka to score. And I had 1-0. Odegaard. Did he score another? I'm losing track. Too many games. I can't keep up with them.
No.
Too many games.
Too many games, too many scorers. So, but we had Gabriel, Zubimendi, Trossard, and then Jesus. Yeah, none of us got that. But I'll add them all up. I'll text you boys after, and then next time we come on, I'm going to post it first thing. But let's grab a prediction for the Liverpool game going forward and your scorers. Are we thinking big? Let's go around the table. Let's go, Josh. Let's get your thoughts on the game ahead. What you think's going to happen? What your thoughts are and predicted lineups if there's any major changes, and then your predictions on scores.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be any major changes, bar any injuries. I think it'll probably start the same. Well, I'll say the same team that he started against Bournemouth. It won't be that one. The same team that he.
Villa.
Well, yeah, Villa, but with Rice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that will be the starting lineup. I'm pretty confident. I think score-wise, probably 3-1. I do feel like they probably will score. They do create quite a lot of chances, Liverpool, but defensively they're just shocking at the moment.
Fantastic.
I say at the moment. I mean all season, apart from the game that we played them.
Yeah, they step up when we play.
I know I've said it before, but we are everyone's cup final. We're probably the most hated team.
So true.
League. So everyone wants us to slip up. Everyone's going to play out their skin, regardless of who it is. And Liverpool, they are a good team. They did win it last year. It's not, they're even though they're not getting like results like they were last year, they're still going to turn up against us. But I do think I am confident that we'll get the win. 3-1. And I'm going to go Gyökeres to score.
Go on, Gyökeres. Yeah, mate.
Back him. Let's back him.
He's going to turn up. Absolutely. I'm still for backing him. All still for backing him. Alex, mate, what's your thoughts on the game overall and your predictions, mate?
I think we're going to smash them. I think it might be like the Villa game. First half might not happen. But then, I reckon second half, Arteta will give them a slap at half time again, and then, I think it'll be. I think we'll win like 3-0.
Okay,
I don't think they're going to get a look in. Yeah,
I think humiliation pending. That'd be great.
That'd be
Who do you think
great.
is going to be your scorers, mate? Pick a scorer.
Scorer. I think Saka. I think Saka's going to bang one in now.
Good shout.
He does like to show up at the big moments, doesn't he?
Yeah.
In fairness to him. Perfect. And Vinny, thoughts on the game? Predictions?
I think I don't think it'll be a close game, but I think the score line will flatter Liverpool. I think it'll be 3-2 to the Arsenal.
Mhm.
I think
Okay.
I can imagine us going 3-1 up and then switching off a little bit towards the end of the game and Liverpool getting another consolation, making it 3-2, squeaky bum for the last 10 minutes as we've become accustomed to. But I think
seems to be the way, doesn't it?
yeah, I think we'll come out on top. I reckon 3-2.
3-2. And who's your scorer, sorry?
I think it will be Trossard. Trossard will definitely get one.
Okay, he loves the big moments. We've got some, to be fair, you've got some scorers there. Everyone's different because I'm going to go stick with Rice because he's just playing so nice. And I'm going to go, I really want to thump him. I really want to big. I'm going to go 4-1. I'm going to sort of go for that Aston Villa score. I think there was a stat the other day on Sky when I was watching it, and it was that 45 minutes to 60 minutes is when we seem to be scoring like a bunch of goals after.
Yeah.
I like to say, whatever Arteta does in half time, he whips them into shape. They come out. Obviously, they've corrected and seen how the other team's playing. He's called an audible and he's gone, right, we're going to do this now. And he makes some fantastic changes. And I think one of the good things about Arteta this year, he is making changes better. His in-game management is getting so much better.
Yeah.
Substitutes are getting better. You know, there's sometimes you go, we haven't had too many game states where we're so far ahead that you go, yeah, let's definitely change it. You know, let's do it now. So, and I think that's the problem. You go a 3-1 and stuff like that. Fantastic, great. You know, but he doesn't maybe change it in time. But that's the only thing I would say. But Rookie Yoshida is our number one talk fan today, so we appreciate you, mate. And he's saying 5-1 Arsenal, which we would absolutely love, mate. He would love a Saka brace as well. And he'd also the big problem with Liverpool is that we tend to show them too much respect, which I agree. If we go all out and dominate their midfield, we'll absolutely smash them. And I completely agree with you on that one, because first game we played them, I think we were both respectful on both parts. It was very cagey, and it was one world class like free kick from Sloboslai, which determined that game. But it was early on the season, wasn't it? And they were on a champions run because they were playing not great, scraping wins, and that's what champions do. But Arsenal did the same. You're like, yeah, you're out of it, mate. You're not going to make it. And now look at us. We're how many points ahead? I think it's 12, 14, something like that. I've lost track. And I think when you look at that middle table, I think technically they're actually closer to 17th. They would be first. There's such a big, big points difference in there. It's actually mad. That middle table is like Cowboy Town. I think when I looked at it, I think was it Brentford? I mean, they're at something like 7th. They're 7th. So as it stands, the table, Arsenal top, 48 points. Man City 6 points behind, 42. Aston Villa are the same points. It's the goal difference for them. I'm surprised that Liverpool are in there, but they're 34 points. That's a huge, huge margin behind us. And then you got the Chelsea Man United 31 points. But that could change. All of this between, I would say, 4th all the way down to literally 17th. There's not much in it. It's such a. I think it's the most competitive I've seen the Premier League for a long time. You know, not just a top 10 dominating. It's all over, and I'm really enjoying actually watching other games being a bit more of a neutral. And I'm probably watching more football than I ever have. More to see the results of the teams that are going to bother us, but I'm enjoying it a lot this season. I think it's because we're winning as well, but makes a difference.
Do you think it's more competitive because of the strength of the Premier League, or because it's a weaker season this year? What would you put it down to?
Yeah, it's true, because I've got rival fans saying to me already, going, "Are you going to win the weakest Premier League?" And I'm like, no, of course you're going to say that. But if you were winning it, but it's not. I think it's the most competitive it's been, because that's why the results are so hard to predict. We do the La Bombe thing at work every week where we predict the scores, and it is so hard to predict. You get the odd correct score but so many draws happening. You know, people dropping 2 points, and that adds up. We had it last year, and even when we did the Invincibles, we drew a lot of games. You're dropping points, but actually we've only drawn 3 games. We've lost 2. You know, 1-15. We're playing bloody well. You know, and the results are strong. And
Yeah.
actually, the run we've got is the easier run. You know, if people are looking at it now, we've done the hard work. I think so far we're coming back at an easier second into the season, actually with a more fit squad, hopefully getting there. So I think, touch wood, I think we're in a good spot. I think going forward.
Yeah, yeah.
We flipped.
I think if you use the Champions League as well as a yardstick and see how well the Premier League teams are doing in the Champions League table, I
Yeah.
think that proves that it is actually a strong Premier League this season rather than close because it's weak. I think it's a pretty strong league. So if we do
Yeah.
win it, I think we've won it under pretty tough circumstances.
Oh, I'd agree. Do you agree, Josh, Alex? What's your thoughts? Go, Josh first. Some direction for it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it is the most competitive. It's definitely the most competitive league in Europe. There's, you go to any of the other sort of big five sort of leagues, and you've got about two teams that it's always between them. Whereas, in the Premier League, it's okay. You've got your sort of top 4 to 6 sort of teams that are always going to be up there, but you're never guaranteed a win. I mean, like say, even against teams like Wolves, like I genuinely think they've been a bit unlucky, like to not
definitely.
have as many points as they do play good football. They do have some good players. I think it's the most competitive season that I've seen for a while. And I think we're doing really well to be on top and have a little bit of breathing space. But 6 points, we know that can go like that, so we need to stay on it. We need to, obviously, big game coming near the end of the season. I think it's April time, isn't it, that we play Man City away. They're the sort of ones that you call them 6-pointers, don't you? Because you've got to go there, you've got to win. Because if you lose, that's them back on your. If we're still with a 6-point lead, that could be the difference.
Yeah.
So
I mean, look at what we've done previous
we do
seasons.
need to carry on. Unlike like you said, like with last season, we had so many draws and we dropped sort of silly points to the smaller teams. We've done better at that this season in terms of even if we've had to grind out wins. We've got the win, and that is again that's what's going to make the difference. We can carry on picking up the points, but also we've got to turn up in the big games. The games against your rivals, against the Liverpools and whatnot. We need to be beating them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think we struggled against some of the bigger clubs a little bit more than we'd like compared to previous years, but we picked up more points on the teams we should be beating. I think is like Bournemouth. We lost twice last year. I think to Bournemouth, didn't we? Yeah. Which is mad. So it's great to see us kind of picking up those points. So the difference, I think there's a 12-point something difference or something like that compared to games in comparison, which is huge. And why we've got such a wide berth and a decent lead, I think, going forward. But Alex, mate, just to recap on your kind of thoughts of where you see it going and that side of things. Have you got expectations now going forward? You're confident?
Yeah, I'm really confident, and I think you just touched on what I was going to say, which was I saw it earlier, which was the games that we dropped points on last season through drawing and losing, and we won them all this season. But the bigger ones like the Chelsea, we dropped a couple of points there, and again Liverpool. Where we've been really dominant on. I think it's last 2 or 3 years, we've been really dominant with the top half, the top teams. So
6,
So I feel better about dropping points to Chelsea away than I do about getting beaten at home by Bournemouth. I think it's a massive improvement. We're going in. It does feel completely like Josh has said it quite a few times. Like it feels it's different this year.
Yeah,
everything just seems to feel like it's clicking. We can't take it anymore. We can't finish second again. We cannot
Can't.
finish second again. I'd rather
It's so
finish
true.
third than finish second again.
Just go, let me try it. Yeah, no, I completely agree. We can't do it. What, for 3 times, 4 times in a row? It will just be,
Yeah.
it will be too much, and you just wouldn't hear the end of it from everyone else. And I'm still frustrated. I'm still getting people going, I hope City win. You go, what? Like, come, so have something a bit different for a change. Like, they've
Yeah,
dominated for years. Liverpool pop up now and again when, like, Man City had a bad season. We were injury like ridden last year. Like, we want to see us or someone else win. Even I want something completely different to win it if we weren't the ones. But I think we've paid our dues and we're like kind of ready to, dominate. And Josh has said this on many a podcast: is if we win this season, we're going to dominate for several
Yeah.
years,
yeah.
a
Yeah,
decade.
for the next
Which,
decade, I feel like if we
yeah,
win this season, for the next decade, we will dominate the
Yeah,
Premier League and also then get that European title that we've been craving for our entire lives.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
for
Yeah,
sure.
for
Yeah.
Yeah.
sure. Feels
I
like
mean,
a lifetime ago.
well, I think over the last 4 seasons we've seen it building, right? I don't think we've ever
Hmm.
truly been absolutely ready to win the league. We haven't always been equipped. Was it 22, 23? Was that the
Yeah,
season that we
Yeah,
were
is
winning
it
by so many
unexpected?
points?
Yeah.
Saliba got
That's
injured.
Yeah.
Holding
yeah,
That
came
was it.
in, and
Yeah.
yeah,
it was the one.
yeah, we
That
were
was
never
hard,
ready, right? We
Oh,
were never
We're
we were never ready
already
that season.
ahead of
We
schedule.
didn't we
and
didn't have the squad.
that was the
That's
season
it.
we bought Timber as well.
Yeah,
And
and
he
he got
got
injured
injured
first
straight
game.
away.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
All season, you just can't write, and then he comes back as a new player the next season, and be like,
Yeah.
if only we had Timber, we could have bloody won. That's
yeah,
what it felt like, and he's been unbelievable.
Mm.
Coming in, and I feel for Ben White still, because when you go through the team, there's so many players who are struggling to get in,
yeah,
but we're starting to rotate a bit more and get people fit and back. And I think if you go through the squad though, we've got such a good team, and I think.
yeah.
I feel sorry for the youngsters. Obviously, there's a lot of talk about Wanyeri going out on loan. I was wanting to kind of bring it up to wanting to kind of get your thoughts on it, because obviously he's not getting any time.
Mm.
But I don't. Do we get rid of him to give him some, like a Saliba, a couple of loans, and get more
Yeah,
experience? Again, I think it's defensive work. It's
Yeah.
something a bit like the Eze stuff. But I mean, going around the table, Josh, start with you, mate. What's your thoughts
yeah,
on Wanyeri's thing and Lewis Skelly? I suppose to chuck that in there as well, because he's played a bit more, but Wanyeri's not
yeah,
getting any time.
yeah. No, I think he's just a bit unfortunate in the fact that you've got in the sort of two positions that he can play. We've got so much depth there, with sort of slightly more senior. They're still young, but they're slightly more senior players, that are probably just that little bit above him in terms of overall gameplay. Um,
Hmm.
I don't really want to see him go, but at the same time, there's talk of potentially like a loan to somewhere like Bournemouth, where he could really, he could shine there, especially if Semenyo does go. I don't know if it's all been signed, sealed, delivered, but he could,
Yeah,
play that sort of role. Um, and the coach there, Raiola, is good friends with Arteta, so you could see it potentially happening. Um, and
it's sort of helping each other out
hopefully,
almost.
give him a bit of more of a development, bit more game time,
Hmm.
and then fingers crossed he'd then come back next season and be a different player and have that sort of
Mm.
hunger. I wonder sometimes, like in training and stuff like that, if these young players really show what they're capable of, because I just feel like he's got that something about him. When he
yeah,
first sort of came on the scene, it's a bit like when obviously Max Dowman this season, he sort of burst on the scene. Okay, he's injured now, and he's not really played that much for us, really. But
Yeah.
he's such an exciting like player, and that was like Ranieri when he first came on the scene, and it's sort of
Yeah.
slightly died off.
Mm.
And I just wonder if there's something in his head that's maybe he's not putting in that extra 10% in training or whatever for him to go like, actually this week we're gonna start you, or you're definitely going to get some minutes this week. Do you know what I mean? I just sort of wonder what's gone on there, but he's still young, so there's still time.
We think FA Cup. We've got that obviously game.
Yeah, well,
that'd be a perfect time.
Portsmouth, so that you'd like to think he'd switch up the team quite a bit for that. Maybe even bringing in the likes of Harry Mananoose and players like that. Because them with a few of the more senior players we could easily get a result against Pompey. But that's if he's still with us. He might have already gone by then.
Yeah, because I suppose we've got this short window, which the loan window itself. We said this before Christmas. We don't think anything's going to happen. I still don't think I can see anything changing apart from maybe people going out on loan. But I can't see us taking advantage of anyone. There's rumours about buying youngsters and stuff like that. Prospects, but not really doing much on the senior squad because we just don't need to personally. But Alex, mate, just to touch on your Wanyeri and the Lewis Skelly type situation, what's your take on it, mate?
I think both of them came in when we didn't have the squad depth that we've got now. And they Wanyeri came in when I think it was Odegaard got injured, and then you saw what a talent he is, and how and he was so mature in his position, and you just thought, God, we were really worried about Odegaard going, and then we've got this kid, and he's come in, and Lewis Skelly's kind of like was the same as well. Like we were short in defence, and he came in and he was absolutely brilliant. I just think that now we've got the depth that like we spent quite a lot of money, and we've got the depth, and we've got those positions filled. It's hard to be. It's like we've got Saka. Like Saka came through and he never lost his place. He came through like they did, but he's never lost his starting place. And that shows his level is above Lewis Skelly and Wanyeri, but that doesn't discount like how good those two youngsters are, and I think they should be loaned out to give them like 1 year. I think he's not getting any game time, and I think he needs Premier League game time. And I think they should loan him out for a season or so. And he's got the talent, he's got the quality. I think and he's mature as well, but he just can't get in the team. No, I want him to stay. I really want him to stay.
We don't want to lose him, so I think the loan's the only option almost to go. Go and develop, like you say, get some to game time. I think that's the only way forward. And when you look at like your positions, because you're thinking you've got Odegaard, Eza, Saka, Noni, Madueke. They're the kind of that's that area, isn't it? And you go, you're not going to get any time, mate. Eza's not getting any time at the moment, but we think that's more game management, maybe. But you just think that's an issue. But yeah, Vinny, final take on that, mate. Where do you stand with it? What's your thoughts?
No, I think Alex was. I mean, he's actually. I wouldn't say changed my perspective, but at least highlighted a couple of things which I'd maybe been thinking, but 100% agree. It's more of a pecking order and developmental thing. I think Arteta really does like to bring the youngsters on kind of slowly and in a more measured way, rather than burning them out too quickly. Obviously, Saka, because of his amazing qualities, he bucked that particular trend. But I think it would pain me to see Wanyeri continue to just be a bench warmer. I would much rather him continue to develop, go somewhere like a Bournemouth, but actually get some minutes on the pitch, because I think that'd be brilliant for his development and will only make us a stronger team when he comes back the beginning of next season. So I think he shouldn't be bench warming for us. He should be going out and getting more experience. I'm not quite sure about. Obviously, Skelly's not going anywhere because of Calafiori's injury problems. We've seen him. Has a run of 10 games and is out for 3 or 4 games, and that's been pretty consistent since we bought him. and it started up again this season. So Skelly can't go anywhere. But however, what you can see now, when Skelly comes in, his deficiencies are more visible than they were in previous seasons because
true, yeah.
the level of our team has just risen. So now you can
Yeah.
see where he's a little bit weak.
Yeah, and that has stood out really this season. Like you say, it's chalk and cheese. Last season, he was the man, and
Yeah.
and this season you go, yeah, Calafiori needs to play, and
Mm.
realistically, Incapie has taken his position. Now you've had Saliba and Gabriel kind of fall back. Then Incapie has kind of taken that left position while Calafiori's out. It seems so. Sketty's at the moment. I think you're right. I think he stays and all that kind of stuff, but you
Yeah.
still need a backup for that position as well. But then you still
Yeah.
got Timber, who can play across all positions because he's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Ben's on the right, but yeah, it's a tricky one. But defensively, yeah, we do need him, I think. But we'll see. I think it'll be interesting what happens the rest of the month as well. But just want to go back. I've just got so rookie Yoshida. He's been all over it in the chat box. We appreciate it again. So I need to kind of call out some of the things because he's commenting as we're going as well. So I don't want to kind of miss it. He's putting loads in here. Let's have a look. Let's have a look here off the head. Obviously, I don't know if it relates to. So he says it must be about other players and bits like that. But off his head, he was saying Harry Wilson at Fulham, Semenyo at Bournemouth, Igor Thiago at Brentford, and Xhaka at Sunderland. I can't remember what that was relating to now with regards to we were looking at kind of players. Is this maybe to update and go to us? But some of these players like Harry Wilson, he's a lot older Harry Wilson than I expected. Actually, he's about 28. I had someone told me earlier. Semenyo, he's obviously early mid-20s. Igor Thiago, he's a younger player, but he's been playing unbelievable. So he's second highest scorer in the league at the moment. And so as someone joked about Xhaka coming back. Will he come back to Arsenal? As he's had his time, but we appreciate the draw the other day. Then he goes, have a look. He says, then you have candidates to replace Spurs at the top six: Aston Villa, Newcastle, Palace. It's a very difficult league. Touching on, I suppose, how competitive the league is.
Yeah.
And then he goes, people mock us because we've been second 3 years in a row, coming short to a title. We have been the most consistent team in this league, and we will win the league. Again, consistency is key in anything, isn't it? I think. And I think this is regards to rivals. Of course, they want City to win, especially these Liverpool fans. So weird, like Pep didn't dominate them, for many years as well. Let's have a look. So he says also, and this is why the moment we win the league, I want everyone to give the Cronkies credit they deserve. Because, like you say, I think there was an earlier comment he said about the Cronkies. Yeah, I mean, they've backed us all the way. They've spent a lot of money. They're not a Chelsea group or a City group and whatever it is, spending money just to make money. They actually genuinely care, and they will get results.
And we are the missing piece of their puzzle, aren't we? Because they've won every title in all their other franchises and everything. They've won titles, so we are the missing piece. As soon as we do that, then
it's going to get paid back this season. And I think you've said it
exactly.
previously, Josh. It would be great to repay them for all their investment and time and effort that Stan and oh my god, I've gone blank on the son's name.
Josh.
Sorry, Josh. I should know. With, Josh,
But another thing on them is that they're not resting on their laurels either, right? Because they're looking at expanding the capacity of the Emirates.
Yeah.
So they're not standing still. They're looking at making us into an even bigger club.
It's crazy. I think there's still talks about the club and the plans. I haven't heard. It sort of went a bit quiet. Start of the season, they started talking about it was an extra 10 to 20,000. Just to kind of increase capacity. Which look, we're all for it. If we can get in there, tickets are ridiculously expensive. But it varies. Depends on the tickets you get, where you're sitting, all that kind of stuff. But it ranges. But the demand is there. If the more you're winning, the more demand is there. The times you'll get tickets easier when it's towards the end of the season and it's kind of done and dusted, or it's a nothing kind of cup game at the early start. But even then, it's a great time to go because it's cheaper, it's more available. And I think also, like Arsenal support all around, the women's game, fantastic to go and watch. You can get tickets really easy. It's a fantastic family day out. So as a supporter, I mean, I've taken my girls last year to the Tottenham game where we smashed them then, and it was just great to watch. They're not as interested in as we may be and obsessed with football, but it gave him the experience for it's a much cheaper price, but you get to go up there and experience it and see some phenomenal icons of the women's sport. And Champions League last year for the ladies as well, I think is huge. So we look at all aspects, youth team, women's team, men's is obviously the main thing we talk about because I've followed it all my life. But we should talk about more about this sort of stuff down the line. But it's I think it's really important, and especially getting down there and supporting. I think that's such a big thing. And we thank you, Vinny, for covering covering the support for us. One last comment also on here. We're talking about the Wanyeri thing. So Ricky Ishido says, "No, Wanyeri needs a loan, but I don't know if we let him go. He's a good player, but needs development
Yeah,
with the loans." Again, we
yeah,
all kind of touch and agree on that. Also, development loans is something we do well. We don't do well, sorry, we need to do better. It is true. I mean, Saliba's probably the thing that breaks that, I think, and
yeah,
he's, come out recently and said, I'm the player today because of the loan spells, and I appreciate it now.
yeah,
He's come through it. So
Yeah,
it's really true. And then when Yeri is the reason why we bought 28-year-old Eza instead of Yildiz or some young prospect, the coach and the board value
that's
him
a good
highly, top
point.
player.
Yeah,
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 That's a good
True.
point.
I did think, I agree, and I think when you look at as he's got 3-4 years maybe, at best. So if he can learn off the likes of your Ezers and your Odegaards and your Sakas, imagine a player. He's only 18 still, isn't he? So imagine him in
Yeah.
3-4 more years developed around that team.
yeah,
Sky's the limit. And again, same with Max Dalman. That's like
Yeah.
you say, he's been injured, which is unfortunate, but he's even hotter than Wanyeri is, I think, coming through.
Yeah.
There's been a lot more talk about him, than I've ever heard of a youth player coming through. And everyone you ever see in the media are very much he's hyping up. I just hope it, comes to fruition for us. And for him, young player, and he's basically said no to a lot of teams. I'm an Arsenal fan. His whole family is. So Max Dowman, we look forward to seeing you smash it up when you're back, because we'd love to see him play more. And when the league's tied up early, you can get some more game time as well. I imagine that'd be great. But I know, guys, that any kind of, I know we sort of said any questions you want to ask the group and stuff like that. But anything that's playing in your minds, anything you want to bring up and talk about, Josh, Alex, Vinny, Josh, you want to go first? Anything you want to bring up to the group?
No, not really. I just
We've talked about a lot of
want to
stuff.
sort of reiterate that I think we've got to try and win it all. I just think we've got to try and win it all.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think we've, like you said, domestic, treble, quadruple, whatever it may be. We're in such a good position in every competition. League, we're positioned well. Champions League, we're positioned well. FA Cup, we should breeze through that. I can't see it happening. I expect, like you say, a fully rotated side with all the pros on the bench ready to fire if we struggle, but I can't see that happening as well. Chelsea, given what's happening to them, I do expect to, take them apart on those two-legged games in the cup. And that'd be great to get that early cup in, build that confidence, and keep going.
Exactly.
And that's what I really, really want for this team. They deserve it. They've worked really hard. Arteta deserves it. I've backed him all the way and always have. And I'm just excited I'm enjoying the ride. Is
yeah,
the honest answer. I don't want it to
yeah,
be just. I want to get to the end of the season. I'm enjoying every game. I'm nervous every game, but actually, I was nervous in Aston Villa. And I think every other game I've kind of like there or thereabouts. But we had a little wobble. We've got through it. Christmas is really difficult time for I think all teams, not just us. But actually,
yeah,
I think we've really managed that well. We've got through one way or another by the skin of our teeth. But we've dominated. And Aston Villa for me was the big one. Bit like the Newcastle game earlier on in the year. That was kind of like we've arrived. Actually, we're changing things this year. We can beat them. And I think revenge on Aston Villa. It's Liverpool next, which is really, really important. I think just to show, even though they've dropped off, just to show where we stand now in the league. I think so.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to a 4-1, a 3-2, a 3-0, or a 3-1, guys, that we predicted. So I'm looking forward to it. But Alex, any questions you want to bring up to the group before we sign off for the night? I know
yeah.
Vinny's going to have some. So
Just one thing. Well, I've got a couple of things, but one of them is
go back.
the last stream that we done,
Yeah.
and you asked us who our standout or our favourite player had been. I said Noni Madueke, right? Because I thought we were talking about the new player, like the new signings, and we weren't. We were just talking about anyone. And it's Timber. Timber was my. If I was being like when I thought about it properly, Timber's the one who every game I watch him, he just puts a smile on my face. I think he's absolutely brilliant. But I do have a question for the team, and that is Rice our most indispensable player? I know we're not a one-man team.
No. Big Gabby, I think he's shown that. Because here's the thing: is when Big Gabby's out, we lose out not only defensively but also offensively. So
yeah.
It's so true. It's true. Like the set piece thing. As soon as you come back, game 1 goal. Unbelievable, Gabby. So I don't think there is. I don't like the thought of one player being that's it, because that's what it's been in previous years. Like we said before, Saliba's injured, the team fell apart defensively. Gabriel's been out, we fell apart a little bit, but we've had the backup this year, luckily. But previous Odegaard was out, we lost creativity. We don't have one player that just, if they're out, that's it. Game, season over. We might as well pack up shop. We've got the replacements and stuff for it now, which is fantastic. The only fear I've got is Rice and Zubimendi. I do think that they can kind of cover each other in to a certain extent. And Marino's there as well. But I do think that Zubimendi role kind of needs more cover, because I don't want Rice to have to drop back or play right back or whatever. But I want him to be playing where he's at, box crashing kind of midfield. We can strike a ball. We saw against Bournemouth 2 goals comfortably in the same kind of positions. He's got the ability, and he needs to be doing more of it. He said it himself. He needs to be scoring more goals. He's only scored 2 before that game and scores a brace for the first time and doubled his goals. He's got this season. So, but we want to see more of that. That's what I would say. But
I do feel like with Rice though, if especially this season, if he carries on in this vein and we win the Premier League, potentially win the Champions League, and if we do well at the World Cup, I think he'll get the Ballon d'Or.
Agreed. I've been thinking this for a little while, Josh. Given he won that award the other day, wasn't it?
Them 3 things that he has to, we have to win at least 2 of them for him to be in with a shout. But I think he if we do, then he will.
Yeah, he'd be worth it. Worth every penny.
Yeah. He's going to be up there regardless. It would be great to see an Arsenal player win a Ballon d'Or. Has there ever been one? I don't think there has.
No. Thierry Henry was the closest, wasn't he? But
yeah. But I think everyone bloody loves Rice. We all love Rice. He's up there, and he's like the. You've got the brains of the team of Odegaard, but I think Declan's the heart, and I think we've been hearing that and seeing it on the pitch. And I think he's a future England captain when Kane's gone. I think if he doesn't get, I'll be really surprised because of what he does off the field, on the field, all that kind of stuff. But
he's complete. He's so complete, right? He's such a complete player.
Yeah,
he's amazing.
Unbelievable. Agreed. I mean, it's obviously any changes. It's interesting, Alex, about the Timber thing though, because obviously we all love Timber, and if he's your choice, has anyone's choices changed since we last spoke before Christmas? Obviously, given the run of games, has anyone changed? Because I can't remember who people called before. Was Trossard one?
I said Trossard, and I think up to the point where I'd said that, I think he was probably the most improved player from last season to this season. However, looking on balance of the entire season. From the beginning to now, I can't go against Declan Rice, mate. It's been amazing. Captain Marvel, it's been amazing.
Yeah. Josh, out of interest, any changes in your mind since the last?
No, I mean, I think I chose Zubimendi, and I still stick with him.
He's been good, mate.
He does. He brings a lot to the team. But yeah, I mean, Rice he's unbelievable. It's just making sure he stays fit, and sure. let's make sure we can win these trophies, and he'll get a little trophy himself, I reckon.
I think so. And when we said it before in a previous one, but Rice is not the guy he is today without Zubimendi. Zubimendi's unleashed him. and I've
Yeah,
said it in
yeah,
probably
yeah.
previous one, but
Yeah.
he's complemented his game. They play well together now. Odegaard, I've already said he's coming into it as well. I think if we keep those three together and fit playing, they're the first choice all day long, and I think they're gonna dominate if we just keep them going. I'm
Mm.
just so happy Odegaard is back to where he used to be, and he's still got more to go. I think he's still got another level to go. I
Yeah,
think as well.
100%.
So
Yeah.
yeah, exactly that. Couple of comments, fellas, just to read through as well. Let me read this one from Rookie Yoshida again. Exactly. The Cronkies are also starting to decentralize the backroom from the manager, brought a head of recruitment, a good director of football, and bringing in more football people and letting them do their job. Yeah. I mean, look at the
Yeah.
difference in the sum of the transfers. That was a huge difference as well. So for me, I think they've done a wonderful job. I think as a club, I love
think-
the club, how it's run.
Yeah, I think that's one thing I'll always stand by is the way Arsenal is as the way it's always been run as like a business, but in a good way, and it's a family club, so that sort of transpires to the fans, and we all from all different walks of life. Vinny touched on it earlier, like people coming from all over the world to come and
Exactly.
watch Arsenal because that's who they support. And I feel like the whole thing that Arteta's kind of built since he's been there in terms of the atmosphere and the players that he's bought, and not necessarily that he's bought, but he's kind of backed every player that has come in under his reign. And there's no prima donnas there. You go to any other club and there's always one player that you sort of go, oh, get out. Do you know what I mean? It's like the whole thing that went on with Salah at the beginning, just before Christmas. Before the Africa Cup of Nations. Like, who does he
That was
think he
weird.
is? No one's bigger than the football club. And
No.
I just think that's where Arsenal sort of stands head and shoulders above a lot of the other clubs, especially in the Premier League, but
Yeah.
even again in Europe and stuff. I just think we're so well run. We've got a good ethos, and that's why we deserve it.
Yeah, agreed.
Uh,
I mean, we're well respected as a club. Maybe not fans are fans, but as club to club, I think we're very well respected in the world from that side of things. But any other comments, boys, on that
I
side
mean,
of things? If I'll
last
jump on.
last thing from me. Last couple of things. One, when Josh said he could see us dominating for the next 10 years, I stayed a little bit quiet because I thought, not sure about that. But
You worried if you can afford the tickets, mate? Because there's a lot of games to go to.
yeah, I'll be priced out of it, won't I?
Yeah.
But no, what I will
That's it.
say though is when you look at the trajectory that we're on, and we're only going to keep building. Can you imagine what business we're going to be doing this summer? Closing more of our the current gaps in the squad. How strong we're going to be next season. This season, it's already sewn up. It's ours. We're going to win the title. We're going to win the Carabao Cup. We're only going to get better. As you said, the entire structure of the club, director of football, the role that they still allow Arteta to play in a managerial capacity and everything else, the stadium build. I think, Josh, you're absolutely right. I think we can really dominate for the next decade in the same way as you might say City dominated for the last 7 or 8 years. I can see us being the next dominant
It is
force.
time.
I mean, these things, they all go in sort of cycles, don't they?
Yeah.
Obviously, like the 90s were Man United and Arsenal. The early noughties was a little bit of us and United. Then obviously Chelsea came in. They started to dominate, but the thing is, we've always been there or thereabouts. So I think, again, hats off to us as a club for being able to pretty much stick at it for the entirety of the Premier League since like '92. And yeah, I just feel like if we can get it over the line, which we will dominate. We will dominate. I'm not saying we're going to win it every year for the next decade, but we will be,
Dominant force.
Yeah, we'll get several titles.
Yeah. Last thing from me, absolutely last thing. And I've said all of that just to really say this. I've only been following Arsenal since 2017. As I mentioned to you before, Dan, I went to my first game in 2018 and fell in love. For anybody watching this that may be on the fence about going to their first Arsenal game, all I can say to you is there's never been a better time than now to be a Gooner. If you haven't got your red membership, go and download the Arsenal app. $39.99, I think it is. Pay for the red membership, enter the ballots, get yourself over to a match. I can guarantee you will not regret it. You'll get value for money. More than likely, you'll see goals and an Arsenal win. Never a better time to join and get to your first game at the Emirates. I implore you.
I love it, Vinny.
Well said,
Absolutely
Vinny.
love
Well
it.
said.
Yes,
Yeah.
Vinny. Here, Vinny. I just got to chuck the comment in there just because it's funny as well. Because my wife, she jumped on the chat to say, "I love Vinny. I'm in love with Vinny." So we all love you, Vinny. But he's so I'm getting divorced. No, but just really love it. Look, it's brilliant. It's brilliant to hear, and obviously from a fan who's a newer fan of recent years to hear that as well. I think that's unbelievable, isn't it? You know, I love our fan base. I love you guys. You know, I love how this has brought us together from doing this podcast. You know, this is our second one of the forecast. Me and Josh has obviously started. We started this about 3 months ago. For me, just going, I'm just obsessed with Arsenal, and it's bringing people together. Vinny, we've never met in person, but we
Yeah.
will do one day. But we've had several conversations where we're texting every day because we're obsessed with the team, and I think that's the sort of thing it brings together. Me and Alex are friends through our wives and girlfriends, and you know, Arsenal is always a talking point. It's the first thing I want to speak to
Yeah.
Alex about, and he's probably like, for fuck's sake. But I love it, absolutely love it. And me and Josh, we've known each other since we were like 2 years old. We reconnected because of this. So I think football, Arsenal for me, has brought so much more than just a game. It's everything,
Yeah.
you know, it's life, it's kind of living, breathing the culture. I just love it all. And I'm just really enjoying doing this. If people watch it or not, who cares? We get to have a chat about it and get people's thoughts. And if we were closer, we'd go down a pub, and we will get to a game, Vinny, and we will have that drink because I really want a Rubicon and rice. Rice.
I will. I'll hold you all to that. I tell you, I'll hold you to
Rubicon
that.
and rum.
100%. I'm up for it.
I think if we don't get to go to a game together this season, then definitely the victory parade.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
Mate, that
for
is a
sure.
good shout, Josh.
100%.
That is going to be wild. Did you see? I saw a little while back the picture of Chelsea. I mean, it's probably a Mickey take, but it was Chelsea's parade, and there was like a few people around. And then Arsenal's, it was like full. It was literally loads of wall to wall of people.
Yeah.
But you have to get up there early for that. It's going to be an epic day, and it depends how many trophies we're parading. It'll be
Exactly.
unbelievable. Mate, it could just go off. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. But we're going to start to wrap things up with nearly going an hour and a half. I appreciate everyone's. Alex looks half asleep 'cause he's got a young child. Josh has got 4 kids. Vinny's got older children now. I don't know how old your kids are, Vinny. But
Teenagers.
how's your son? You said bumped his eyebrow, wasn't it, around Christmas? Is he all right now?
Oh yeah, I tell you what. Thank you to everybody that works for the NHS. I took him in, and literally, I think within 3 hours, not only did we get to see a specialist, they diagnosed what the issue was. They did a small operation on his eye, removed the foreign body, and now he's right as rain. So thank you very much, NHS.
Fair play. Supporting the NHS always. So
I'm sounding like Ty.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly that. But let's just wrap up the final comments as well, just so we haven't missed anything as well. From, I mean, Cherie saying a bit of rice, baby. Ricky Yoshida as well saying Rice definitely can win it. This is about the Ballon d'Or, and if he does, the conversations will be putting him in is crazy. Obviously, yeah, you know, Arsenal legend in the making. Rice, if he wins the Ballon d'Or, don't mind me if I say he's better than Gerrard. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, he's a big call. Gerrard's a bit of a legend, but he needs to win stuff. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Win stuff this season, it puts him in that conversation for sure. Only going to get better as far as we don't get complacent. And then, so Ricky Yoshida, who he said was born in 2003. Okay, so it gives us your 22, supporting the club since 2011. Will love us to win. I suppose you would have been too young to see us win it last time, Ricky, from that side of things. So that's a big thing. And Mate, I hope we win it for you. I hope we win it for everyone who's supporting, who's been watching the channel tonight. It's been just so much fun, guys, just chatting about this week. And then we're going to do it. So we're going to do the forecast on a Monday now, because I just said to the guys, me and Josh have been doing the All About Arsenal podcast for some time now on a Monday, but I want to hear from everyone all at once to get everyone's opinions. We're still going to do one midweek, me and Josh, but I'm going to try and do as well stuff where, you know, predictions. I might go, guys, one of you want to jump on, let's just have predictions about the game. Let's do starting lineup. So I want to go and get more involved, and people down in the comments, you know, what do you want to see? What content do you want from us? Because we're here, four friends who love Arsenal. We're just talking about it, but I always want to get feedback and hear from you. And there's 11 people watching, but we've had people dropping in and out all out the through. But if you're watching it back on playback, comment, you can like, you can hype, subscribe to the channel, because we are, you know, we've hit over 1,600, I think, on the subscribers. We're, yeah,
Wow.
1,689, which I'm really sort of proud of, to be fair. It's done really, really well.
Yeah,
And
well
what,
done.
you know, what I'd
Well
like to say
done.
is that, yeah, thanks, guys. And I think, well, as you guys helping Josh, especially on the All About Arsenal, Vinny, Alex, you know, from this inception of me going, do you want to, I want more people to talk to. It's been really, really good. And I think the real positives of the last one we done before Christmas, it was a Christmas special, but we had more watch time than some of the other videos we've had, which have had more views. So people are watching more of it, which is really interesting. So that's why I do think, you know, I think the format works really well. And obviously we'll come back. We'll talk about next week. It will be all about the Liverpool game and recap. Is there any other games after Liverpool before you see you Monday? I need the fixtures in front of me,
Game
because
after that's
surely
the
it can't
FA
be
Cup,
another
isn't
game.
it?
What day is that, Landon?
Thursday's the Liverpool game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it the weekend's the FA
Oh,
Cup?
we've got. Is it FA Cup?
If we got
Yeah.
Tuesday, is it? Is it Tuesday, Wednesday? It must be the following. When is the FA
I
Cup?
I don't know.
Oh, let me have a look. FA Cup here. So, oh my God, there's so many teams in there to scroll down. She's great watching, by the way. I can't even see it on there. Oh my God. No, I can't even see. I think there's too many to scroll. Show more matches. There's literally tons. Do me a favour. I can't see it on there, to be honest with you. Let me try and just go through Arsenal. But
Yeah.
yeah, there is I just want to know what day. So they're all saying the 9th. So what day is that land on? So that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I mean, there's games all over the weekend. So maybe oh, there we go, the 11th. Oh, thank God. Sunday, 2 o'clock, Portsmouth.
That's what I
Okay.
thought, yeah.
So we've got 2 games to talk about. So, I mean, with that, we probably should predict quickly the Portsmouth game. But I imagine we're all going to say win. But let's whack out a quick score. Josh, go for Portsmouth. What we beating them by?
6-0.
6-0. Oh, come on, Josh.
And I think Gyökeres is going to get a hat trick.
Gyökeres hat trick, mate. That's the 60 points. 60 points out there. He might get 6. Why not? Alex, mate, go for it. Scoreline.
2-0.
Conservative. Who's scoring?
Jesus.
Jesus, mate. I think I could see that. I could see them both happening. To be fair, Vinny, thoughts, mate?
I think we'll go a goal down, but then pull it back 3-1. Marino will get at least one.
Marino, cool. I mean, I think it's going to be a dominant performance. I'm going to go 5-0. I'm going to go Mr. Martin Odegaard, because I'm loving his form. I mean, Rice would be the easier option, but I picked him on the previous game. And that's it. And then we'll wrap and I'll add up all the scores. I'll put a little table in there next time so we know who's winning, and then we go from there. Last couple of comments just before we log off, but you've got Big Rob. Thanks, Rob, for dropping in. Big up, guys. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too, Rob. And drop your comment in here. So Rob's always been supportive of the stream and the channel. And he says Josh is still on the holiday juice. I don't know. Are you on the holiday juice, Josh? Maybe,
It's
Rob.
just coffee.
Oh, okay. I didn't even see what we've been drinking. I'm underwater, but you know, it's I got told off before, as we know on stream. But I think that's it for me. That's us for us. And I think we'll close the stream up. But lads, obviously, stay on and we'll just say goodbyes after. But thanks for everyone who's tuned in. Again, like, hype, subscribe, and then we'll see you next Monday, 8:30, and we'll go from there. But I appreciate it. Let's set that outro quickly for this.
Yes.
See ya.